Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to show you how to blend textures like a pro. I'm going to be using Procreate and Autodesk Sketchbook in this video. So whatever software or app you prefer, you can just head on to or jump onto that specific timestamp. The technique I'm going to show you guys for Procreate might not be very applicable for other softwares or other free apps, but the technique I'm going to show you for Sketchbook, you can actually use that same technique in any software that you want. So if you're not using Procreate or if you're not using Sketchbook, you can just still hop onto or jump onto Sketchbook part, because the technique that I show you guys there is actually going to be helpful regardless of what software you're using. So without any further ado, let's just jump right in.
Alright you guys, so before we begin, I already have placed these textures, and the brush I have used is this brush called Stucco, if that's how you pronounce it. So before we move further, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna show you quickly how we are going to actually do it. So there's gonna be this one texture with one color, and just gonna be placing another texture with another color just to show you guys what we're gonna do. Here's a texture, and it's actually going to be really easy on Procreate because of the fact that Procreate has a blending tool. Now we're just going to go ahead and pick up our blending tool in the same texture. These are just some brushes I'm working on. Watercolor brushes, I'll be coming up with these really soon. So this is the brush I found, and what you want to do is you want to make sure the opacity is not up to the max, and so I just kind of keep it below 50%. Okay, it just depends on you. So the first step is going to be to actually go over the line where the two colors meet each other. Okay, I'm not going to show you how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to show you it on a screen recording, but I just wanted to show you the motion of the brush. It's going to be a little circular like this. Alrighty, and then we will be taking our brush once again, our texture brush once again, and we're gonna pick both the colors one by one. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna increase its size a little bit and decrease its opacity, and just gonna go over that line once again just to kind of add that texture once again, because we have used a blending tool and we are just putting that texture back up over that line just to make sure it looks that the two colors are blending in that same exact texture only. I hope that makes sense. So obviously I'm not going to show you here. I'm just going to actually now show you guys in a screen recording how I do it. So now I'm going to show you how to actually do it on an object. So I have picked up circle. As you guys can see, I've already placed all the texture right here with the colors that I wanted. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up my blending brush, the similar blending brush that we were using to actually paint the texture onto the object. And that's the reason why on Procreate it's a little easier as compared to other softwares or other apps to actually blend stuff. Okay, so as I said, first step is to actually go over the lines where two colors meet each other. Okay, you can go in a circular motion if you want, but that is also actually working really great because kind of spreading the texture of that really dark brown kind of color over the skin color. So it's totally up to you, right? And I am going to actually do the same thing all across and repeat the process until we are happy with the results and we don't see no harsh edges anywhere. So that's what I'm doing right here. As you guys can see, doing it in a circular motion helps in spreading the texture of the color. Let's just say I am moving over this specific line or intersection of two colors, if that makes any sense. So the orange color, if I'm going over orange color in a circular motion, I'm spreading that texture over the other color, and that just makes it so easy to kind of blend it in this seamless way. So that's, again, just gonna show you, just gonna do it all across. Now, as you guys can see, even after like blending, the texture is kind of gone, and that's not what we want, right? And that's why it's kind of still tricky even after having such great tools like Procreate has, it's kind of tricky to blend these textures together, because now with the blending tool you have kind of washed out the texture itself. So now what we're gonna do is either you can just create a new layer and add clipping mask to it, so that if you mess up you can just delete it, clear it, or whatever. Okay, so that we have saved our progress up until now. Now you just go back and pick up your brush, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna just place this texture back onto the object once again. And how we do it, I'm just gonna take this brown color and I'm just going to increase the size of the brushes just a little bit and just make sure the opacity is low. So I'm just going to check for the opacity. It's not good enough. I think we can increase it a little bit. Yeah, that's it. Maybe just decrease the size a little bit, and just once I'm just going over the main color once, and also where the edge is at, like that. Again, decreasing the opacity helps because we don't want a lot of pigmentation. What I'm gonna do is I am going to pick up the base color, which is this color, the skin color, and just gonna lightly go over the brown color that we have, okay, just to add back that texture. Now we can actually see that brown color a little better, and this is a process we're gonna repeat all across. Now I'm just gonna pick up this color, gonna go over this brown color, picking up the brown color and going over this grayish dark color. Now again, gonna pick up this orange color and gonna lightly spread it. It's okay if there is some sort of harsh edge with the texture, because that's what we want, because we got rid of this color, this grayish color, a little too much. And now I'm gonna pick up this color right here in the middle and just gonna spread it over the orange color once again. Basically what you have to do, wherever there is overlap of colors, you wanna pick both the colors and spread a little bit of the first color onto the second one and a little bit of the second color on the first one, if that makes any sense. So that's what I'm gonna do all over the white color, because I just think it's a little too much right now. So I'm just going over the white color like this, so that it's nicely blended with everything else. And yeah, I mean, that's how you actually seamlessly blend textures in Procreate while still keeping that textury effect. You are now able to actually blend those very seamlessly, as to it's kind of hard to kind of figure out where each and every color is actually coming from, if that makes any sense. I'm just gonna kind of remove this so that you guys can just see clearly how I did it. And I actually also did in this one specific sphere as well, and I actually followed a similar process, and they both are quite different because of the placement of the texture, and they both look really, really great, but the process is really similar, really easy. This is much more nicely blended, and this is also nicely blended, but we can still see some harsh edges, as in where two colors meet each other. Whereas in this sphere we can see some harsh edges, but it's just kind of hard to figure out as in where the color is emerging from. So it's up to you how much you want to blend and how much you want to keep, but that's how you actually blend textures on Procreate. So now I'm going to show you how to actually blend textures on Autodesk Sketchbook. This is the one I actually created. This is the one I already did, and that's what we're going to do. So for my brush for this tutorial, I'm going to use charcoal brush. And before we move ahead and I show you how to do it on an object, I just want to show you quickly what we are basically doing with this technique is, let's just say we have these two colors. I hope this is visible. I'm just going to pick some random color now. I'm just going to place it right after that brown color. Now the thing is, Autodesk Sketchbook does not have any blending brush, especially a blending brush which has some sort of texture that we can use to actually blend textures as Procreate has. So what we're going to do, we're going to use the brush itself to actually blend these two colors together. So how we do it is we just decrease the size of the brush, and I'm sticking to orange color first. What we're gonna do, we're gonna go over this line where these two colors meet each other, and we are going to go over this line in a circular motion, but very light-handed. Now we already have our opacity decreased, not to the max, but just a little bit, just to make sure we're not putting a lot of pigment over the brown color, because we don't want that. We don't want to wash out the brown color. We just want to kind of fade that line away, at the same time making sure that we still have some texture. Now once you can already see the lines fading away towards the brown color, but we have lost a little bit of that brown color. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick up that brown color once again, and now gonna do the same thing over that orange color. So that's basically what we're gonna do when we are actually doing it on some object. And now we're gonna jump on to the screen recording, and I'm gonna show you how to actually do it. So here I have my object, and I've already placed all my colors. Now again, as I told you guys, I'm just gonna follow the same process, starting with the base color, which is this one. And as I said, just decrease the opacity of the brush, increase the size of the brush just a little bit, and just make sure you're going over the edge, as in where two colors meet each other. Okay, that's what we're gonna do, just to kind of blend it, because we don't have a blending tool on Sketchbook, where again, as I said, which is kind of textured, so we'll have to do it with the brush only. And it's kind of easy, and to be honest, I kind of prefer blending colors with brushes themselves. It just, the result is really good. Now I'm doing the same thing with the brown color, and I'm actually spreading it over this gray kind of color that we have. And I kind of wanted to spread it a little more, because I thought that we don't have enough of this color on this object, so I was just doing that. And yeah, you can just see that line already kind of fading out, but this line over here with the skin color and the brown color meeting each other, it's just looking crazy right now. Why? Because we have not used the brown color to actually move back over that skin color just yet. Now it's gonna look seamless, because the whole idea and goal here is to get rid of any harsh line. Like, it can be harsh just a little bit, as you guys can see, it's still kind of harsh, but it's not where you can actually differentiate or can clearly see how each and every other color is kind of placed. We want to make it look so seamless, where it's just kind of hard to tell, okay, I don't know where this color is coming from, like that. So that's that. And we're also making sure we're keeping the texture. Okay, and what I do is sometimes I just decrease the opacity even more and just go over that skin color just a little bit more. Okay, that's how I'm blended. Now I'm just gonna pick up that grayish color, gonna go over that pink color, increase the opacity just a little bit. And yeah, and again, in circular motion, I'm very much focused where that line is at until it's nicely blended. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with this orange color as well, which is overlapping this gray color. Basically, I'm repeating the process I showed you guys initially all across. And with the white color, I'm actually gonna pick the base color and go over that white color, because I don't want that white color to cover the whole object, and that's why I'm just going with my skin color, the base color that I used on this object, and just moving over this white color like this with a similar technique. Now I'm actually going back and picking this color up, because I think I actually lost a lot of this color, and I'm actually going back with this color over the dark brown color that we have. Also, you guys, if you hear a lot of background noise, just excuse me for that. Like, I just don't know, whenever I sit down to record, everybody just starts their machinery and whatnot, and it's just kind of annoying. But whatever, I'm just going back over this brown color with this grayish kind of color, just to make sure that's not completely washed out. In the end, what I'm doing, I'm picking up the base color for the object, and I'm actually gonna go back and lightly paint it over the bottom of it like this, because right now it's just looking a little too brownish at the bottom. Now you guys can see how nicely everything is blended, and at the same time we have kept all the textures that we wanted on the object. That's how you blend textures. That's how you actually blend anything. You can just use any brush from this brush library, and you can actually blend it all together using this very technique. Okay, you actually never need a blending brush. You can actually blend with the brush you're using, and I also already have a lot of tutorials on that. I will link all the helpful tutorials down in the description box below, but that's how you actually blend textures, and it's really easy, and you can actually use the same technique in any software you like, okay? Because we're not using any smudge brush, so we're not dependent on that. We're just using the brush that we use to paint, to blend, so we're not any longer dependent on any smudge brushes. So the same technique is actually applicable in any software or any app that you like. So that's how you blend textures in Autodesk Sketchbook, and not just Autodesk Sketchbook, you can just use this technique on any software you like. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this quick tutorial. If you're taking out something from this video, do let me know down in the comment section below. Also, do let me know what you think about this very specific topic, and if you do actually end up creating something using any of my tutorials, and tag me on Instagram, I would love to see that. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.